microphone. Morning, morning. Take the mask off your face and look at me face to face. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning. Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning. This world is getting so cold. I wanna keep running like a soldier. Somebody must have touched my soul, cause there ain't no stopping till it's over. I wanna get up out my chair, cause everybody's getting so lazy. Don't want nobody touch my hair, cause a lot of sisters acting too crazy. And them not tough like this, rough like this, and them not nice like this. Some can't take it when you talk true sense, rather hear the words that glorify nonsense. Yes, and I got my brains, and I'm pretty like my mama. I don't wanna pick your brains, I just want the microphone. Take the mask off your face and look at me face to face. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning. Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning. I wanna share my love, but it's gotta be with someone who's precious. You're never gonna get my love, accepting that you're real precious. You're never gonna cramp my style, baby, cause I get a lot of pleasure. And if you wanna test my style, you better have a whole lot of measure, cause I'm a rock back chick, never tag along the never look back chick. Trendy, a little crazy, intelligently singing rock back chick. No sticks, no stones, or any kind of weapon don't belong here. I don't wanna break no bones, I just want a microphone. Take the mask off your face and look at me face to face. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning. Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning, good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning, good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning. On the microphone, morning. I just want the microphone, morning, morning. Take the mask off your face and look at me face to face. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning. Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning. This world is getting so cold. I wanna keep running like a soldier. Somebody must have touched my soul, cause there ain't no stopping till it's over. I wanna get up out my chair, cause everybody's getting so lazy. Don't want nobody touch my hair, cause a lot of sisters acting too crazy. And them not tough like this, rough like this, and them not nice like this. Some can't take it when you talk true sense, rather hear the words that glorify nonsense. Yes, and I got my brains, and I'm pretty like my mama. I don't wanna pick your brains, I just want the microphone. Take the mask off your face and look at me face to face. Good morning, good morning, good morning, put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I wanna share my love, but it's gotta be with someone who's precious. You're never gonna get my love, accepting that you're real precious. You're never gonna cramp my style, baby, cause I get a lot of pleasure. And if you wanna test my style, you better have a whole lot of measure. Cause I'm a rock back chick, never tag along the never look back chick. Trendy, a little crazy, intelligently singing rock back chick. No sticks, no stones, or any kind of weapon don't belong here. I don't wanna break no bones, I just want a microphone. Take the mask off your face and look at me face to face. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, 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 good morning. I just want a microphone. Morning. I just want a microphone. Morning. Take the mask off your face and look at me face to face. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, good morning. This world is getting so cold, I wanna keep running like a soldier. Somebody must have touched my soul, cause there ain't no stopping till it's over. I wanna get up out my chair, cause everybody's getting so lazy. Don't want nobody touch my hair, cause a lot of sisters acting too crazy. And them not tough like this, rough like this, and them not nice like this. Some can't take it when you talk true sense, rather hear the words that glorify nonsense. Yes, and I got my brains, and I'm pretty like my mama. I don't wanna pick your brains, I just want the microphone. Take the mask off your face and look at me face to face. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning. Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Viewers, it's 7 a.m. and today is Monday, the 20th of December, 2021. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Yes, it's the Christmas week, and we are on that countdown to the celebration of Christmas 2021. And I know many of you are probably saying, oh my God, 2021 is almost done and 2022 is on the way to beginning. Yes, that's correct. It's that week of Christmas. I am Julian Skeet, and this is the Tobago Updates morning show coming to you live from the Port Mall in Scarborough.
And I am Rhea Richardson George, and this is the day that the Lord has made, and we will rejoice and be glad in it. Good morning to Tobago, Trinidad, the Caribbean, those of you viewing us on the live. Season's greetings going out to all of you. It's a beautiful Monday morning, and we're really happy to be in your company. Julian, it's good to see you.
Yes, Rhea, we've have so many things happening over the course of the weekend. But before we even get into that, I know the viewers may be seeing a bag on our table here. You know, I know that I want them to zoom into it a little bit. No, it's not my breakfast that I brought in a berry link.
Not
selling
today.
a bag. Not today. Folks, today we have a brand new smartphone to give away, courtesy the Tobago updates coming to you here. This is our first day for the trivia, Rhea.
That's right.
Good. Give them a little more details for me, Rhea.
The first of many days to come. So this giveaway is courtesy Berry Link, and it is a cell phone dual SIM. All right. The thing is, they've got a question to answer. We're going to give the question in just a little bit. So there is a question. Yeah, let's hold it up. And we can even take it out of the box if you can, Julian. Take it out of the bag.
I suppose the Berry Link, ad is very important so that they
Yes,
know
it is.
who is our sponsor here this morning. All right,
That's right.
Berry Link Cellular.
So folks would have a question to answer. And the thing is, according to our producer, the first person down to our studio with the correct answer, first person down to the Tobago Updates studio with the correct answer is going to walk away with this dual SIM phone courtesy Berry Link. Okay?
So Rhea, do we put the question out here now in this segment?
We can put that question out. We can.
So this is where we're asking persons to prepare yourselves. All right, Rhea, you give them the question for this morning. I'm just interested in the cell phone, but Rhea, you go ahead with the question.
Okay, so this is the clue. I am a shiny gold coin boasting of colonial affluence. Today, I am the birthplace of wealth, a wealth that keeps on growing. You can travel to be by land, sea, or air and leave with buds of potential. Where in Tobago am I? One more time. Let me get this correct. I am a shiny gold coin boasting of colonial affluence. Today, I am the birthplace of wealth, a wealth that keeps on growing. You can travel to be by land, sea, or air and leave with buds of potential. Where in Tobago am I? And this is a dual SIM smartphone courtesy Berry Link Cellular. Berry Link Cellular. So I'm putting it out there. So let's move on to some other things that...
So folks, remember, it's not just about putting your answer on the live or
No.
calling the number to submit.
You've got to come
We are
on down.
looking at that door at the studio immediately, and it's the first person. Remember, we are located at the Port Mall in Scarborough, top floor. That's the third floor upstairs.
All right, just after as you step out of the elevators, the Tobago Updates door is just in front of you. Okay, so Julian, I need to just jump in here very quickly. We've got some birthdays today. One of those persons being my mother, Joan Richardson, celebrating her birthday today. She's known as Auntie Joan, Sister Auntie Joan. We call her Auntie Joan. Her grandchildren call her Auntie Joan, except for one grandson who gives her the Gamma. Gamma, you called me? That's Josiah. But Gamma, this morning, happy birthday going out to you. So that's Joan Richardson. We've got Brenda Brown celebrating her birthday today, wife of Bill Brown. Odette Isaac, Laurel Isaac's mommy, celebrating her birthday today. Kenetta Bob celebrating her birthday today. Some really fine, upstanding women in Tobago society. So happy birthday going out to these special ladies, and love going out to all of them, especially my mommy. A special good morning this morning going out to Lester Douglas of Patience Hill. He said, Rhea, I watch the show all the time. He said, girl, I see you in my living room and I just can't tell you good morning. All right? So, Lester, brother Lester, good morning going out to you.
And we're happy to say morning to each and every one of you. Rhea, I also want to send birthday greetings out to Anthony Blackman, teacher up there at Signal Hills Secondary. Also, good morning to Keish Alfred out there in St. Lucia. Good morning to you. Want to send birthday greetings as well. Birthday greetings also going out to Akeisha Phillips and Gilbert O'Connor Jr. That's my cousin out there, Gilbert O'Connor Jr. We trust that each and every one one of you have an enjoyable birthday today. And from yesterday, I need to make sure and send birthday shout-outs to my Auntie Margaret O'Connor Caesar. Happy birthday to you. I know you celebrated the birthday yesterday, and as she came over and we bounced up in the yard, I said, happy birthday, Auntie Margaret, and she said, morning, Julian. So certainly we know that she's tuned in and following the show, so happy birthday to you. And each and every one celebrating birthdays today. Ria, any quick anniversaries before we go to the rundown?
Anniversaries, indeed. We've got happy belated anniversaries going out to Andrew and Tracy Waldrons, who celebrated their birthday last week, and to Renicia, I'm getting to that. That is Dion Williams and Renicia Solomon Williams, who celebrated their anniversary on the 17th. 4 years, so happy anniversary going out to you guys. Lots of love going out to you. Keep the love alive, Tracy and Andrew, and Renicia and Dion.
All right, folks, and in the rundown this morning, our first guest on set in the next segment will be former Secretary for the Division of Finance and the Economy, Joel Jack. And of course, Ria, he comes to in an effort to bring some clarity to a number of the concerns raised by Chief Secretary Farley Augustine and also current Secretary for the Division of Finance. And who else do we have on the lineup, Ria?
Well, just after we chat with Mr. Jack, Julian, we will be chatting with Aaliyah Holder. Aaliyah is the owner of Lee's Delightful Treats, and she's going to be on our program this morning with some goodies. So we're going to be tasting some of her goodies that she's got in store for this Christmas season. So we're certainly looking forward to that. I don't know about you, but anything to do with food on set.
You see, I've been following her on her WhatsApp stats. I've been following the Facebook, etc. So I'm really looking forward to that opportunity in terms of, you know, getting a taste of this interview. Not just the interview, getting a taste of this interview. All right. So viewers, once again, we want to thank you, those of you continuing to share the love and support for the Tobago Updates morning show. Yes, we are giving away a tablet this morning. You would have had the question, and remember, it's not just about coming here. It's not just about messaging an answer, but making the specific effort to come to the studio to give the correct answer. We are located at the top floor, Port Mall in Scarborough. And we are also using our tabs this morning.
Brand new tablets. Now, I saw these tablets came out for elections. But I figured, you know, they were just for you and your election team, because I didn't see them after that. But thankfully this morning, as of this morning, we are going to be using these tablets courtesy Phone Aid Avinash. So thank you so much this morning for these lovely tablets. You can see, and I guess you can also purchase at Phone Aid. Yeah, let me just You see,
Andrea has the nails and everything.
Yeah, it's a good thing my nails are a little bit on fleek this morning.
Did Ria just say that? Folks, at this point, as we prepare to go to the next segment, yes, you're having your cup of tea, and I know you're having a fun time with us this morning. This is the Tobago Updates morning show. We look forward to, by the 8 o'clock hour, that we'll have a winner here coming to answer our first trivia question. Yes, these things only happen on the Tobago Updates morning show. It's giveaway time. This is the Christmas week. Folks, we want to encourage you to continue to share the live, share the live, share the live.
The Grinch has gone greener. In TNT, we love to lime and laugh a lot, but our waste hurts the earth, and that has got to stop. Good thing for those going greener, stepping up to save the day. Everyday heroes in their own way. You too can show you care. Recycle aluminum, plastic, glass, and Tetra Paks with iCare. Gather up the empties. Take them to your nearest iCare spot. They're all across the country. Check iCare TT and let's clean up. Help clear our drains and landfills. Stop the flood. So simple to do good. Recycle now with iCare. Let's all do our part. Show Sweet TNT we love you with all of our heart. Visit iCare TT for more info.
You can now get whatever you need whenever you need it anywhere in Tobago with Tobago. Your meals, medication, groceries, and shopping all delivered directly to you. No more hassle, no more stress. Get the Tobago app today on Google Play or Apple App Store.
That's TAPPOGO, and let us deliver to you.
Check our website at www.tapogo.app or call the experts at 494-TOGO and 484-4746. Tobago. Relax. We will get it to you. Tobago's at your service.
MI4 Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash and transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
Talk, watch, and listen to win big this Christmas with a Digicel Prime Bundle. The more you watch, cheer, and dance to your favorite Digicel apps, the more chances you have to win thousands of shake-to-win prizes. Enter to win grand prizes of $100,000, home appliances, and groceries valued at $50,000 or free Digicel services for a year. Visit My Digicel or dial *323# to buy a Prime Bundle today. And talk, watch, listen to win big with Digicel. Better together this Christmas.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning, good morning, viewers, and welcome back this morning to the Tobago Updates Morning Show. Now, just before we get into things, we want to go over, that question. For this BerryLink Cellular dual SIM phone giveaway for this morning. Remember, when you answer, you've got to come on down to our studios. We're located 3rd floor, Port Mall, just outside of the elevators. Now, you've got to come with the correct answer. So it's going to be a real waste if you get here with the incorrect answer. No, you do not get half of the dual SIM, okay? You cannot get half of the dual SIM. So that question again. I am a shiny gold coin boasting of colonial affluence. Today, I am the birthplace of wealth, a wealth that keeps on growing. You can travel to be by land, sea, or air, and leave with buds of potential. Where in Tobago am I? All right. So I'm going to rest that there. And welcome on set with us at this time, Mr. Joel Jack, former Secretary for the Division of Finance and the Economy. And this morning we are talking about Tobago's economy and its development. Good morning and welcome to you, Mr. Jack.
Good evening and good morning. Let me say good morning to all of Tobago, all of Trinidad and Tobago, and those persons who are joining us from afar virtually. It's my pleasure to be on Tobago Updates this morning.
Always a pleasure to have you.
And morning, I love your theme song.
Why, thank you. Morning. Maybe we'll have you sing it for us one day. Now, Mr. Jack, let's start off this morning. Now, we are referring to you this morning for the first time in a number of years as former Secretary for the Division of Finance and the Economy. I want to get your thoughts on the elections. We've not had you on set since, so we want to give you an opportunity this morning to speak to that.
Well, thank you, Maria, and let me start off by saying a special thank you to the residents of Backlet, Mount St. George. I had a distinct pleasure of serving them for the past 8 years as a representative, and I know a number of them, you know, I got the messages, and they were missing me. I also want to say thank you, a special thank you to the residents of Bagatelle, Backlet, those who supported me and voted for me in the upcoming elections. This race was close for a number of us, and congratulations to the PDP on their victory. And you know, Tobago, the campaign is over, and the island's development has to move on, and we have a responsibility as a People's National Movement, while in opposition, to ensure that the island's developmental momentum continues. Some of those important programs and projects that we had in train, that they continue, that unemployment levels are unaffected, and that we prepare for governance over the next 48 months or so. So we are currently working together as a party, planning, meeting, and preparing ourselves for governance. During this period, it's a time for me, one of introspection and reflection. And going into December, looking ahead for 2022, and looking for a brighter 2022 come in the new year. But I also want to thank my spouse, Dr. Kamara Kinsumas Jack, the rest of the family, my siblings, Auntie Cecile, and my father, and the extended family of the electoral district, and my campaign team and staff for the overwhelming support and the work that they have put in during this campaign. It wasn't the results that we were looking for, but we will get the results in the near future, and I'm fairly confident of that. So again, a special thank you to them. And we prepare for governance, as I said, in the next 48 months.
And I know one of the things that a lot of Tobagonians may not be aware of is that the current Assemblyman Morrison, you all were schoolmates.
Well, he went to Bishops, and I went to Signal Hill, and let me also congratulate him on his appointment to office as minority leader as well, and also the minority councillor, Mrs. Petel Daniel Benoit, and the minority leader is ably supported by the minority councillor. I've worked closely with Mrs. Daniel Benoit over the past years, and she's an excellent employee, very well qualified, suitably qualified with the necessary experience. I know they'll make, you know, a formidable team in the House, and as we prepare over the next 48 months or so, as we prepare for governance, and also as we keep the current administration, we hold them to their commitments.
Okay. All right, well, thank you so much for chatting with us on that issue. Now we're talking about Tobago's economy and its development. Now the Division of Finance and the Economy has been renamed to Finance, Trade and the Economy. Let's talk about what we heard quite recently. We heard Chief Farley speaking to the issue of Tobago's finances. There's been a call by the opposition leader, by the opposition, Mr. Calvin Morris,
minority leader,
minority leader, indicating here that, you know, it's not as bad as Mr. Chief Farley is making it seem.
And you know, when I heard this statement by the incoming Chief Secretary and the Secretary for Finance, I was a bit surprised at this statement.
Why was that?
Because it does not reflect the current facts and the availability of funding within the division. When I was preparing to leave office, I penned a letter, and I have a copy here this morning, and a dossier, and I left it on the desk for the incoming secretary. At the time, the team, the executive council was unnamed, and therefore I did not know who was coming in. But I deem it fit as part of my responsibility as secretary, having assumed this portfolio for the past 8 years, and to facilitate a very smooth transition, I left this letter on the desk addressed to the incoming secretary, and I left it with a number of documents attached, because my intent was to facilitate as smoother transition as possible, to minimize any disruption to the work of the division, the work of other divisions of the Assembly, and the Tobago economy. And therefore I penned this letter indicating to the incoming Secretary of Finance the arduous task that he has. One, as Secretary of Finance, mobilizing and managing the island's finances. I indicated as well that the campaign was over, and that as Secretary of Finance you endowed with a responsibility to be unbiased, to be objective, and to be professional, and to serve all the needs of the people of Tobago.
Right.
I included in the dossier as well the draft estimates of revenue and expenditure for fiscal 2022. I included the recurrent and development program monthly expenditure reports for October. That is what I had available at the time.
Right.
I was not in receipt of the November report. I also placed a copy of the 2021 Tobago House of Assembly financial statement, the 2021 Tobago House of Assembly budget statement, the Tobago medium-term policy planning framework, which was the socioeconomic planning document guiding the affairs of the Assembly over time, the Tobago Socioeconomic Statistical Digest, which was a compilation of all socioeconomic data for the island at the time, work programs of the various departments within the division, and a copy of the Tobago Intelligent Island Report. I laid these there so that he can, he could, one, look at the allocation to the Tobago House of Assembly, look at the releases at the time to the various divisions, and to go through in detail so that he could have, an appreciation of the true financial position. But what the Chief Secretary and the Secretary of Finance indicated was that he gave a cursory review. And in that cursory review, not having time to go into details, he came up with a position which is unfortunate. And he indicated that he was attempting to wait until January before coming to the public. And if I was in his position, I would have waited a little bit to review in detail the documents.
So you're saying here
because
that you don't believe that he reviewed all of the documents and had all of the details. Is
right.
that what you're saying?
Correct, because he said so himself. He had a cursory review of the documents. So what are the facts? And one, when I left office, prior to the receipt of the monthly releases from the Ministry of Finance, we had over 300, close to 300 and approximately $220 million in the Assembly's accounts.
And let's just put a comma there, Mr. Jack. What was the relationship like between the Tobago House of Assembly under the PNM-led administration and central government, where the finances, Tobago's finances were concerned?
No, excellent. I had an excellent working relationship with Mr. Imbert, because for the first time, in addition to getting more than the barest minimum, 4.03% of the national budget, when Mr. Imbert came into office, we started to receive 4.4% of the national budget, way above the barest minimum. Additionally, Mr. Imbert gave support publicly. He announced it in the budget. He gave support for the Assembly's alternative financing mechanism modality, which includes our bond financing mechanism, where we raised for the first time in the history of the Assembly. He gave approval for us to borrow up to $300 million. Additionally, we also got $108 million in funding from CAF, which was borrowed, which was placed on the government books, and the funding given to us for coastal infrastructure to deal with coastal erosion, sea level rise, and other matters. And additionally, he gave formal support for the Assembly's public-private partnership modality, and for us to engage, work with the private sector to mobilize funding to execute a number of projects. And for example, that is also seen during this crisis, because when at the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic, persons can recall that we have received over $100 million in supplemental funding directly to fight the COVID-19 pandemic. We got $50 million the last fiscal, $50 million again in fiscal 2020, and then in fiscal 2021. So that's $100 million. Additionally, we got additional support for the business community. And because I was sitting on the national task force at the time, we got additional support for our BDU Enterprise Assistance Fund and grant programs, approximately $10 million. We got another $10 million to unlend through the credit union revolving loan fund, and another mechanism. So we have an excellent working relationship. So persons might be wondering about when did we start getting our releases on a monthly basis.
Right.
So let's deal with that. That started under Mr. Hawaii. When he was Minister of Finance around 2014 or so, and at the time there was no rationale or reason given, and that was and then we started receiving it monthly. But then the economy, the global economy, oil and gas prices fell precipitously. and then the national revenue declined significantly, and this is when the PNM administration came into office in 2015. I raised this with the minister, and he indicated to me that the cash flow situation of the country is very dire and severe, and they were unable at the time to assist us. And persons have to remember that nationally, prior to the PNM coming into office, the budget was $65 billion, and the government had to reduce substantially the national budget from $65 billion to $55 billion. And at the time, dealing with declining oil and gas revenues, declining oil and gas production, and that had a significant impact on the country's cash flow. And as a result, we have been getting our releases from the Ministry of Finance on a monthly basis. However, the minister has given a commitment: once the cash flow of the country improves, we will start having it quarterly on block and in advance.
And just before the elections, when was the last release from central government?
We were getting it monthly, so we'd have gotten the release for November. That is why, as the Chief Secretary indicated, they got the releases for December. So we're getting it monthly. So we got the release for December in early. He received it as Secretary of Finance, but what happens is that we'll get the email notification, and then there's a circuitous process where it goes to CASA must apply for a grant of credit. It has to go down to Trinidad, and then after that the checks are cut from the Central Administrative Services and sent across to us in the THA.
All right. Well, we're gonna leave it there for this time here, Mr. Jack. Coming up just after we take the break, Julian is going to be joining Mr. Joel Jack on set as we continue talking this morning about Tobago's economic development. So we remember to share the live, share the live, share the live.
To all Tobagonians and visitors of this beautiful island, the Tobago Recycling Resource Initiative is seeking your efforts and support in keeping a clean and organized, friendly environment. In doing so, drop-off bins are located at strategic areas around Tobago for your recyclable materials such as plastics, aluminum and steel cans, glass bottles and tetra packs in bags, and let's protect our environment. Our own Tobago Recycling Resource Initiative is here to propel that change. Look for the white bin nearest to your area.
The Grinch has gone greener. In TNT, we love to lime and laugh a lot, but our waste hurts the earth, and that has got to stop. Good thing for those going greener, stepping up to save the day. Everyday heroes in their own way. You too can show you care. Recycle aluminum, plastic, glass, and Tetra Paks with iCare. Gather up the empties. Take them to your nearest iCare spot. They're all across the country. Check iCare TT and let's clean up. Help clear our drains and landfills. Stop the flood. So simple to do good. Recycle now with iCare. Let's all do our part. Show sweet TNT we love you with all of our heart. Visit iCare TT for more info.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning. Good morning,
viewers. Morning. It's 7:30 a.m. and this is the Tobago Updates morning show coming to you live from the Port Mall in Scarborough. In this segment, we continue the conversation with a former Secretary for the Division of Finance, Joel Jack. Good morning, sir, and welcome to you.
Good morning, sir.
And you know, I don't ever miss an opportunity to send my morning greetings out to my very good friend, the wife of Joel Jack, Kamaria Keens Dumas Jack, Dr. Kamaria, as well as Clavia. No, I am missing out Clavia at all. And this is a good opportunity to mention kudos and commendations to the Interact Club of Southwest Tobago, of which Clavia is also the secretary, that participated and jointly with the Rotary Club of Southwest Tobago to distribute hampers to families in need. So good job. Keep up the good work. Mr. Jack, this morning we are continuing the conversation.
Yes.
Looking specifically at some of the issues that would have been raised by Chief Secretary Farley. And you know, I want us to get into a bit of the specifics to get your perspective on it, because I assume quite naturally you would have your data. You've been there long enough to be familiar with your data and information. Now, one of the questions raised would have been specific, let's say, for example, for the unspent balances now standing at just over 50 million or so in terms of the count. What is your response to that in terms of the balance that was identified?
That figure is very low. On an annual basis, our unspent balance is over anywhere in the vicinity of upwards of $100 million, over $100 million or so. And the fact is, for this year, we have not completed the transfers of the balance in the contingencies fund at the end of the year, and we did not complete the transfers from the various divisions, because just to let persons know, the unspent balances comprise the unreleased funds both under recurrent and DP. The balances in the divisional accounts at the end of the financial year of September 30th, and any interest accrued coming to the various funds and balances, those are transferred into the contingencies fund, and that will comprise the balance. So that figure is and he also indicated that there was an estimate, the figure that he has available, but that figure should be at a minimum of a conservative estimate will be $75–80 million. It's normally $100 million. So that figure is quite low as well. And
so as you mentioned there, make the distinction for us with the unspent balances as well as the contingency fund, because the Chief Secretary also quoted the contingency fund at just over 392,000, not million, not billion, 392,000.
Right. So that balance is that continuous balance from October the 1st. Just to remind persons, the financial year starts from the 1st of October to the 30th of September. So the balance that is quoted, that is the historical balance from the end of the financial year. And because we had funding in that contingencies account, we were releasing funds from it to treat with CPEP, URP, and for other things. So that balance does not really reflect the true balance, the completed consolidation and reconcile exercise. So the figure, once we make the transfers, will increase substantially to, I would say, a conservative estimate, $75–80 million. And very conservative estimate at that.
Those are transfers as in coming from central government?
Right, so, so
just so that we ensure our viewers understand the process.
Right,
yes.
so I want to clarify. So what the contingencies account will be with the previous balances from the financial year. So all the unspent balances, all the unreleased funds will be transferred into the contingencies account. So that's
at the end of September 2021?
As at the end of September 2021.
Right.
So all those balances at the end, and let me reiterate, the process has not been completed. So when he was quoting the figure of $300,000 and persons were saying we have no money, I smiled, because I am fully aware that we were still awaiting the submissions from the various divisions before we complete the transfers. Now, in the Division of Finance, we are aware of what the figure is. We have all the balances, but we await the submissions for the divisions to complete their bank reconciliation exercise. And once that report is sent us, as Secretary of Finance, I would sign the necessary warrant to make those transfers from the unspent balances into the contingencies account. So that figure would increase substantially to, I would say, as a conservative estimate, $75–80 million at least. And therefore, based on that, the two major projects that would have a first call on the contingencies account will be CPEP and URP. And the estimates and our expenditure for CPEP and URP, though that funding that is available now would cover the expenditure for CPEP and URP.
So just give us a sense, on estimate, when does that process normally happen by on an annual basis,
well,
in terms of the
transfers? Well, it's dependent on the divisions and their submissions and how quickly they complete the reconciliation. And because we have funds available, that timing is based on on their submissions. We will make an initial transfer sometime around November or early December. But because we normally have balances coming over in the contingencies account, we're fairly flexible. So that is normally completed by the end of the first quarter or early second quarter. We'll make all the final transfers. But what we do, we make interim transfers in the first quarter to cover any expenditure that we have available.
So I know you also mentioned about, you know, given that period, and the Chief Secretary has spoken to the fact that he's targeting January to be able to produce more details in terms of our financial status within the Tobago space. Do you anticipate that by that time, with public servants, the relevant divisions, etc., that there should be drastic changes reflected in terms of what may have been these preliminary figures that would have been announced?
And yes, and you know, historically, you know, I have a firm hand on what the figure would be, so that by January, because as he indicated, he received preliminary figures. He reviewed them in a cursory manner, and you know, when you say you have a cursory review of data, you basically rush through the data. So once we have those transfers, and my concern as well is the recent lockdown measures, but again, given the fact that the Division of Finance, our staff, they're deemed as essential workers, that issue would be clarified as well. So in terms of stating that, you know, the teacher doesn't have any money, we have to look at it in the context of the overall budgetary allocation, because for this year, we have received over $223 million over what we received in the previous financial statement. 164 million additional under $64 additional million under development program, and we received the difference on the recurrent expenditure. And when you look at the fact that our average monthly expenditure in the Tobago House of Assembly is around $146 million or so monthly, we have more than sufficient funding to cover our annual expenditure. So when I heard the cry about no money in the Assembly, and we start seeing these headlines about the Assembly broke and so on, it's of concern to me, because while you might want to have the administration, the previous administration, that is, reflected in a negative light, these statements have far-reaching implications for us as it relates to the our rating, to our investors, to our bondholders, and to persons in the international market who are looking to come and do business with the Tobago House of Assembly. So I would urge caution, and again, for more detailed review and to temper some of the statements as well, because they have far-reaching impact.
The other area we want to touch on, Mr. Jack, looks specifically at, we would have received a loan, bond financing, recent loan for $163 million. What was that intended for originally?
Right. So
we want to touch on what it was intended for and what it was spent on.
So the bond that we went to the market for initially was for $300 million. We got the approval of the Minister of Finance for a suite of projects, including infrastructure, roads and bridges, housing, health facility, and so on. When we got the formal approval, we started making the necessary budgeting for those funds. That was in 2017. Because of legal and administrative delays, that stretched from 2017 to 2021. A number of those projects commenced, were in train, and we had to utilize funding in the contingencies account. So you're talking from 2017 to 2021, almost a 4-year period. So what the Executive Council decided to do, because some of the projects such as the Milford Road Bridge, that was started and completed. The Moriah Health Facility, that was started, that was completed. And a number of the projects such as the Intelligent Island, we took the decision to commence a review of that project working with TSTT. So we spent a lot of money upfront, and those funds were repurposed, and we utilized those funding for other urgent infrastructure work. So the bridge in Lambo, that was completed. The other phase of other infrastructure work, that was completed, and the money was taken out from the contingencies funding. So we utilized those funding that was spent before for other urgent projects in the Tobago House of
the Chief
Assembly.
Secretary is accurate in saying that it has been fully utilized, but his reference is within 6 months of receiving it, that it has been fully utilized. But what you are alluding to is that it's fully utilized from the perspective that it would have covered projects from a wider time frame. That's what you indicated?
Right, because remember when we started to talk about the bond, remember, yes. And let's step back a bit, that we had to go back to Parliament. We had to get the approval of the Minister of Finance. We had to work with the Ministry of Finance and their debt management team to ensure that we crossed all our I's and dotted all our T's. We were working with our bankers for Citizens Bank since 2017 when we went to market initially. It was the first time that the Assembly was going to market, and we were going to market without having a sovereign guarantee or without the government guaranteeing the bond. So you're going based on our standalone rating. And that took some time. We had to restructure the bonds. We had divided up into 2 tranches, tranche A, tranche B. The investors indicated they were looking for something with a shorter tenor in a first instance and a longer tenor. So it was divided, and we should have had the full receipt of the funds. And however, the part 2 is well in train. We're waiting the approval of the Minister of Finance for the second part of the funds, and those funds we anticipate would be received shortly. I'm not sure in terms of the process. The Chief Secretary did indicate that he's going to liaise with the Minister of Finance. So we'll get an update on what is the timeline for that. But everything was on cue. But as you know, during elections, all those things are on hold until after the election.
So just the final question as we wrap this morning's interview. The minority leader, Kelvon Morris, would have made a statement in relation to the overall budgetary allocation for the year. And particularly, it said that if $600 million was spent in the first quarter of the financial year as projected by the Chief Secretary, then there's still $1.6 billion to come from the allocation. THA employees must be paid, goods and services must be procured, etc., to continue to function. And the projects for which funds have been allocated must be executed. So he has associated the spending of the $600 million as minority leader as justified within this first quarter. What are your comments on that? 30 seconds.
No, let's put it in context, and probably you may have to give me an additional 30. Remember, in terms of the releases monthly, quarterly, you have recurrent expenditure and you have development program expenditure. And when we get the releases from Ministry of Finance, those funds are dispersed based on the requests coming from all the divisions of the Assembly. So the funding is dispersed. It's not parked there, because if we do that, then workers would not be paid and so on. So it's in that context. And if you break up the $2.365 billion allocation to the Assembly, if you divide that by 4, you get an idea that the releases coming to the Assembly on a quarterly basis will be in the vicinity of over $500 million. But I would advise the Chief Secretary to get a copy of the Midas report on a daily basis. Get the copy of the Midas, and as well review your monthly expenditure reports. They will show that you have balances for all the divisions for recurrent and development program. And the signal that he sent does not put Tobago in a good light. But it's early days still. It's less than less than 30 days, and as he indicated, he did a cursory review of the document.
All right. So viewers, you've heard it there from former Secretary of the Division of Finance, Mr. Joel Jack, giving some sense that while he provides the clarity, that he has a sense of hope that this was only a cursory glance of the initial information, and therefore he is hopeful that come January we should see a much better representation of the figures that exist. We'll have to leave it there for now. Thank you very much again,
Thank you for
Mr. Jack.
having me.
Certainly. Viewers, in this segment we talk about the good stuff this morning. And this morning on Tobago Updates, we are featuring 7-year-old Tobago child wins entrepreneurship competition. A 7-year-old pupil of Hope Anglican Primary, Messiah, launches anti-itch braid oil. Messiah's sister, who is in Form 5, came home from school with some ingredients to make lip balms. They did it as a co-curricular activity at school. Messiah got excited and wanted to learn to do it. She did not give up. So she went on YouTube and learned how to make it. She then decided to experiment on different oils for hair, and one day her mommy was cooking with bay leaf. She asked if she can put that in her hair oil. Messiah tried it and it came out really good. She decided to make bay leaf, anti-itch braid oil, and many other hair oils and hair fertilizer using bay leaf. Her sister decided to jump on board and design the labels for her and helped her launch and set up her business logo, among other things. Former Finance Secretary Joel Jack launched the competition for young entrepreneurs. The 7-year-old entered by pitching her business and won the overall competition. So congratulations this morning. And yes, you may not see Mr. Jack now, but he's smiling. Congratulations to Messiah in terms of coming forward and launching that anti-itch braid oil. Viewers, that has been our good stuff this morning. If you know someone or anything you'd like to feature on the good stuff, email us at info@tobagoupdates.com. That's info@tobagoupdates.com. Or contact us via call or WhatsApp at 284-6597. That's 284-6597. Viewers, we thank you for the continued love and support. And remember to share the live, share the live, share the live.
You know, ladies and gentlemen, today I could have been lying in this casket dead. I have lost so many friends. It is unbelievable. They stood right in front of me saying, Ian, I am not going to take that vaccine. You shouldn't take it. But today, they all passed away. They all died and gone. You want to be there for your family? Take the vaccine. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Ian Allen. It's not a ledge, it's a fact. I am alive. Please, don't hesitate, vaccinate. That could have been me going there, but I'm alive, as you can see.
Vaccinate today, live tomorrow.
It's a different type of thing down there. Man, we party till we drop down there. With a lot of pretty girls down there, down in Tobago.
The Grinch has gone greener. In TNT, we love to lime and laugh a lot, but our waste hurts the earth, and that has got to stop. Good thing for those going greener, stepping up to save the day. Everyday heroes in their own way. You too can show you care. Recycle aluminum, plastic, glass, and Tetra Paks with iCare. Gather up the empties. Take them to your nearest iCare spot. They're all across the country. Check iCare TT and let's clean up. Help clear our drains and landfills. Stop the flood. So simple to do good. Recycle now with iCare. Let's all do our part. Show Sweet TNT we love you with all of our heart. Visit iCare TT for more info.
I am asking though, for individuals who may be living in Tobago, who may have been health professionals, who may be retired, you may have been a health professional who is, the way you're working allows you to have a little bit of free time. You may be a health professional who is not even working in the health field because of what you do right now. You may be a social scientist who could be a part of the COVID-19 response. If you fall in any of these categories and you are willing to volunteer your time and your services, we are asking you to send us an email. Send us an email. The email is tobagohealth@gov.tt.
Everybody, this is your boy Kenneth Super Sad. Yeah, man. DJ, take it down. I want to tell all you this. When I was born in the hospital, my mother watched my father and tell my father, look with treasure. My father say, bury it. My father was an electrician for 40 years. And the first shock he get was when I born. I want to urge everybody, please get vaccinated. Right now, I performing before an empty audience. And the only way we could get things back to normal is if we get vaccinated. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, TNT, don't hesitate, vaccinate.
TNT, don't hesitate. Vaccinate today. Kindly sponsored by NLCB.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning.
Morning, viewers. It's 7:52 a.m. and this is the Tobago Updates morning show. In this segment, we hear about this day in Tobago history. Good morning and welcome, Devon Adana.
Good morning. This day in Tobago history. Did you know that on December 20th, 1888, an omniscient sage became the very first commissioner of Tobago? According to worldstatesman.org, 133 years ago today, Lorraine Geddes Hay became the first commissioner of Tobago under the new Two Islands, One Colony Union. This was his second bite at the cherry in Tobago's power circle, as before the unification, he served as Tobago's treasurer. Most illuminating about Commissioner Hay is that in 1884, he wrote a handbook of the colony of Tobago, which is available on Amazon and is there described as, it is described that he accurately made a representation of the colony of Tobago to Europe, that Tobago was on track for an inevitable economic crisis. In his view, at the root of the pending crisis was the monopolistic power and control Tobago's estate owners and co-signees wielded on the island, which directly impacted its economic health. He also wisely stated that there was no other time in the history of the colony of Tobago that was so favorable an opportunity for the investment of capital than at that moment in 1884. However, not even he could have envisaged at the time of writing the handbook that the results of his comprehensive and almost all-seeing statement on Tobago's economic status would mean that Tobago would be politically and fiscally joined with Trinidad, and that he would be charged with helping the island navigate through this change as its first commissioner. You've been watching This Day in Tobago History. My name is Devon Adana. Back to you in studio.
I hear first commissioner, and I move it a little away from the main responsibility you spoke to, and I think of in the context of our current moving forward as a country with the recent appointment. I know it may not be the same. Different levels of responsibility.
True.
All right, how's the Christmas season treating you, Devon?
Boy, yeah, cleaning going on here like that, that between Trinidad and Tobago and in the Caribbean, that is what this time really means. It means cleaning. And so that's what we're getting into as soon as I get home from here.
Certainly, a time to prepare. Thank you very much again, Devon Adana. And while you are cleaning, in the true setting in the household, while the baking and so happening, somebody has to do the tasting. Up in our next segment, viewers, some of you may know her in the context of the National Youth Parliament. Some know her in the context of the Tobago Youth Assembly. Some just know her as that young lady seeking to always make a difference in youth development. Some know her as the daughter of Rhea Orr. Good morning, Rhea. We have one set with us this morning, Aliyah Holder. Good morning, Aliyah.
Good morning, Aliyah.
And Rhea, what capacity is Aliyah here in this morning? Because she wears so many hats.
And she wears another hat here at Tobago Updates. But yeah. So this morning she is here as the owner of Lee's. Let me get it correctly here.
Delightful Treats.
Lee's Delightful Treats.
Yeah, I can't forget the delightful part.
No, yeah, and I realize you've got some good stuff over on your end, and I've got some good stuff over on my end. But I'll tell you something: the good stuff, the good stuff over on my end, I love the good stuff over on my end. Really.
So I want to start by asking Aaliyah, just to give us a quick kind of indication, when did this all start for you? Because in my mind, and I would tell you this, Aaliyah, I'm one of those supporters that know continuously you are destined for greatness and continue to achieve and to make a difference. When did this all start for you amidst everything else that Aaliyah is already involved in?
So over the July, August holidays, I was home after I did a surgery in April, so I was on 3 months rest, and I was like, I like porn, so I wanted to learn how to make it. And I reached out to a friend, his name is Joshua, and my cousin Nakinta, who makes porn, and they was like, I will help you, I'll give you all the ingredients and stuff like that. And they gave me the ingredients and the recipe, and I just went and bought everything, and I sat and I was like, this great thing is not for me, because that was a lot of work. And then it all happened, and then my other cousin was like, so why don't you sell? And then I was like, people not gonna buy anything. And then I did one sale, and my quota was to do 10 packages. And when I did 10 packages, I had 15 orders. And then from that, I moved from 15 orders to 45 orders. And then from 45 orders, I moved to 55 orders. So then I was completely sold out, back to back, over and again. And then it was Christmas time coming up, so I called my granny. Her name is Leno. And she specializes in black cake. Everybody calls her on Christmas time to bake black cake. So I asked her to show me how to make black cake and teach me all the secrets, and she did. So I did a trial in October on the black cake, and it came out perfectly fine. And I did samples and persons tasted, and I am fully booked and sold out. I did deliveries yesterday, and I have orders to go out on Wednesday.
Julian.
I like that. It's a case of the rest is history.
That's right. Now, she said that she did samples in October. I don't know if you got any samples. I certainly didn't. No. But I want to ask you here, Leo. You said when you started, you realized that this grater thing is not for you. Mm-hmm. Grater versus a blender. Is there an option to blend the coconut when coming to traditional Tobago porn?
So
if you want to make
porn,
it easier.
You use coconut milk and coconut husks.
Right.
So when you blend the coconut milk, I usually blend the coconut milk, use some of the husks, and then I use the coconut milk to blend the pumpkin.
Right.
So when you blend the coconut milk with the pumpkin, it gives the porn a different color. As
and
it pertains
texture.
to grating the pumpkin and putting it inside the mixer itself.
Got it.
Everything else I grate, the sweet potato, the cassava, everything else, the tanya, everything else is grated.
So you've learned to appreciate.
Yeah. And quite, I like to grate my stuff, because when you grate it, sometimes you could buy the processed one, but buying the processed one sometimes gives you bulks, and I don't like that. The pork needs to be smooth.
Smooth.
Yeah.
And you're telling me here that this is a smooth porn. So we're going to be tasting this. Now, viewers, we're doing on live tasting. Live.
While
so here's a sweetie for you.
Why, thank you.
And this is a sweetie for you.
Wow.
My candy cane.
Sweetness in the house. And viewers, you may not be able to see it, you may not be able to see it where you are there, for those of you who are viewing. But it's amazing to see. I haven't seen our technical officers try to rush this interview so quickly at all, so that we can get to the meals. Immediately, Master Control and the team in the background. Yes, Cassie, we're getting there just now. Have no fear.
That's it.
All right, just as Aaliyah is preparing and bringing out stuff. And one of the things I would like Aaliyah to certainly share on, what Aaliyah is saying is that specifically in 2021, is when you would have taken the time out to develop this skill set, correct?
Yes, in a pandemic.
Within a pandemic. And it just speaks to the fact, Rhea, you know how parents would traditionally say, right, like she now ready for putting house. Rhea, you want to translate that for our viewers there in terms of what does that mean for those in the region that are viewing?
Those persons out there in Trinidad who are not familiar with the Tobago language, she now ready for putting house means she's now ready for marriage. She's now ready to be wife, She could take husband now, because she can cook. Because Tobago man wants a woman that can cook. They mustn't just look pretty. You understand? You mustn't just be nice in the bedroom. In the bedroom. Not in the bedroom. In the bedroom. But you must be able to cook. You understand? Because Tobago man love the belly.
And I see the husband of Rhea George there, Oswald George, beaming with pride. Good morning, sir. Good morning, Oswald. So what we have here, Rhea, what we tasting first, Aliyah?
This is cassava pone.
Cassava alone, cassava and sweet potato.
Cassava with a touch of sweet potato.
Okay.
And I see, Rhea, some messages coming in from my friends and colleagues. You can't wait to taste the pone. Yes, Nadine, I cannot wait to taste the pone here this morning.
Yeah, I didn't wait.
I'm a sweet potato. No, sorry, I'm a cassava fan. Cassava pone. I'll take it with a hint of sweet potato. Good. Aliyah?
And I would tell you, Rhea.
She passed the test.
Just making sure I don't want any close-up shots and only make a meme with me saying that I was eating pone. Rhea, I'm not usually a pone fan. But I love the taste.
Oh.
I generally don't eat pone. Any of my family members would tell you I would pass pone straight and go to the cake.
Not me.
That is something that I would have gotten persons who don't eat pone to eat pone. So I had first-time customers who never liked pone before growing up, and they ordered and they continuously order again now. So I got to transform people into pone lovers.
You did say smooth, and this is definitely smooth. And I want to thank you very much. But
I
very
see,
quickly,
Rhea, I see Carol Fraser Davidson joining in on the live. Sheldon Cunningham and all he wants is pone as well. Yes, Sheldon, I see you joining on the live. Morning.
Sheldon, I will save you a piece, definitely.
We have some very good comments coming in. Onika Mars, Aliyah is the best. She will excel. Commendations coming in from Afia McCain. Here my bacon are looking gorgeous, Aliyah. All right.
But so, very quickly, two very quick announcements. We've got the winner of the Berry Link, but I'm saving it for last. But the Heavenly Care Home for the Elderly is having a fundraiser on tomorrow. It's their Christmas dinner box. It's in aid of raising funds for the home. $50 a ticket. I've been putting it out there on social media all weekend. It's happening tomorrow afternoon, 4 p.m. I have still got tickets available, so you can message me on WhatsApp, Facebook to collect a ticket. And they are located just opposite Massey Motors, Rockley Vale. The home is located just opposite Massey Motors. So give me a call, or WhatsApp for your ticket.
Right. So
I see she took my paper, but
yes, she's probably adding it. But I wanted to just share with our viewers very quickly. I know you have already baked for the season, but for those who may want to follow up with you by the time you are baking again for the last week in the year or in January, just give them some contact information.
Okay, so my contact number is 745-3717. 745-3717.
It's Lee's Delightful Treats.
Lee's Delightful Treats 1 on Instagram. My Facebook name is Aliyah Holder. You can just message me on Facebook. That's about it.
All right. So, folks, you have it there. You can connect with Aliyah, and this is Lee's Delightful Treats. And yes, I want to assure you, folks, the taste is on point. The taste is on point. I have already ordered for my Christmas cakes. I'd gotten it before, but Aliyah, you see, by the time you're doing it again, I had to make sure that I'm inside that order.
All right, now we've got the results of our giveaway, and a young man did come on down to the studios to collect his dual SIM phone courtesy Berry Link. So the question again read, Julian, do you have? He said we will be consumed by cake and porn at this time.
I am. Rhea, I'm fairly challenged by being engrossed with the meal on set. I would hate to do a disservice to our current guest. But Rhea has found the question and the prize that was won by courtesy Berry Link Settler. Go ahead, Rhea.
Yes. So the question again, I am a shiny gold coin boasting of colonial affluence. Today, I am the birthplace of wealth, a wealth that keeps on growing. You can travel to be by land, sea or air and leave with buds of potential. Where in Tobago am I? And the information suggests that the answer is...
Drum roll.
The answer, we'll tell you who won in just a little bit. The answer is Louis d'Or. Louis d'Or literally means a gold coin that was minted in France in 1789 during the French Revolution. And it is where the nursery is for plants, Louis d'Or, East Tobago. Plants keep growing and producing. There's a heliport in Louis d'Or. And the winner of this berry link dual SIM phone
coming from Roxborough,
hailing from Roxborough, but now living on the outskirts of Scarborough. Drum roll, please.
Yeah.
I see Cassie in the back there, with her imaginary drum. Thank you, Cassie. All right, is Akel Franklin, and he was here first, and he is our winner. There he is on screen. Okay.
Congratulations,
Akel.
His
Berry Link Cellular Dual SIM phone. Thank you so much, Berry Link Cellular. Congratulations to you.
And I just want to quickly as well, we have to do a shout out to two of my friends here giving me some troubles and have me busy here in my WhatsApp. Nadine and Avian, good morning. Thank you all very much for the love and support. Thank you indeed. And certainly I see my cousin joining in. Celine Skeet, good morning to you too as well. Thank you for joining in on the live. Everyone, we're so happy to have you. Aliyah, tell us very quickly before we go. I'm seeing these cards. I love how it looks fancy. You did the design yourself?
No, so the design was done by my mommy, who is looking on Ria O.
Good morning, Ria O.
So she did these lovely thank you cards for me that says, compliments of the season, thank you, and I do look forward for your continuous support.
All right, so folks, don't be afraid. When you call Aliyah as well to find out about Lee's Delightful Treats, you can also find out about her graphic work, and I'm sure she'll connect you with Mommy in order to get your stuff done. Folks, we want to thank you very much again for joining in. This has been a great day. Thank you for the love and support. Ria?
I'm really, Julian, I was really trying to chew quickly so that I'll be able to talk. But thank you so much, viewers, for joining us today. It was an awesome day, and you can expect great things coming up this week on the Tobago Updates Morning Show. You do not want to miss it this week. So have a great day. Stay safe on the roads. Wear your mask, sanitize, and that's right. We do it like this.
This is the Tobago Updates Morning Show. We love you. Bye-bye,
everybody.